14 minutes late. Back into it, and I forgot to hit the live button. So we're going to start back from the beginning as best we can here. Let me set up a few things in the back start here. Now that I've hit live and you guys can actually see what's going on. Yeah, I forgot the old live. Being a little rusty at it and come back, forgot to hit the live. This is from the new studio. Just kind of a run through of a test on it. And it's a test of the broadcasting system. As I've got a banner for the screen to put up there. Appreciate everybody coming in. First thing I was talking about a little bit before for the last 14 minutes or so that I talked about to myself, I guess, because you got to hit live. If you don't hit live, nobody sees what's going on. I started looking at that chat. I seen people saying I was sleeping. It's oopsie. It's being a little rusty. Good evening, XAN. I'm sure we lost Sterling. Sterling probably fell asleep by now. He was already hitting the rack. Smoke Shop, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Frogzilla, yeah, good to see the old crew back in here checking this out. So it's a little cold out in the shed, so I've kind of moved into the inside office studio that my wonderful wife has set up, and chopping ain't easy. That's correct. I did go through the whole intro thing earlier, but I'll do it on the next show because I'm not going to bore myself with talking about the whole entry again and seeing how things are going. But what I was talking about is today was the Garage Brood motorcycle show in Cincinnati. I didn't make it to it. That one kind of snuck up on me kind of quick. Kind of one of the things that I missed out on completely because I kind of haven't been doing this, and I decided at that point maybe it's a good time to get back into it so I can remind myself of the shows and also share some of the upcoming shows with everybody else. Also, today was supposed to be the Full Throttle magazine show in North Carolina and Greensboro, North Carolina. Lincoln chose to cancel that because of the weather down there, which probably ended up being a pretty good reason why he canceled the show. So it's part of the because of the weather down in North Carolina, he canceled that out and made it happen where he didn't do it quite this year because of the weather in North Carolina wasn't so pleasant today. And it appears that he made the right choice, not just for the people getting out and traveling, but for all the people bringing motorcycles. All the vendors have to get in and out. Loading in probably would have been all right, but loading out, getting everything out, I definitely think he made a good choice. But the other show that we had bad news. How do you time me out? I timed myself out for 14 minutes before the show. I forgot to hit live and didn't go live. So I sat there talking for 14 minutes to myself, didn't hit the live button. So when that happens, you can sit there and you talk to yourself for a while and see how that goes. So the other thing that came out today was Fuel Cleveland broke out that the Fuel Cleveland is taking a little bit longer break than everybody expected. I was kind of looking forward to that show, one of the better shows in the area. But he put out a really nice message on social media about the direction of the show and that he wasn't going to be carrying on this year with it. Maybe later on it'll come back from the sounds of it, but definitely going to take a little break for the next couple of years. That Fuel Cleveland was definitely one of the ones that I had always looked forward to. One of the premium shows up in the area. Next weekend, bringing up premium shows. Next weekend is Cycle Showcase in St. Louis. Randy puts on a great show every year, unveiling bikes underneath the premium lights, and you get to see some of the builders' first-time sights of their shows. So if you've got time and you're in the St. Louis area, get over there and check that out. Oh, looks like XAN's got a gold wing trike that he can pick up. That's awesome. Got a new trike. That's good news. Are you keeping the other bike too, or did you get a new? Did you trade that in? That's pretty big news. You've been looking forward to getting an actual trike for a while, so happy to hear that you got yourself a new gold wing trike. So, also we have the small channel spotlight that I was talking about is the figure out how to share this stuff again and get back to this. And there we go. So Wild Stallions channel has 60 subscribers. That's the motorcycle build that I'm a part of this year. Definitely get over there, check out their channel, subscribe to it if you have not yet. Follow along with all the builders. They're gonna do it. They've been doing a Wednesday night live podcast going on about the everybody's build and everything. They're start bringing each one of the builders on Wednesday nights. So get over there, hit that like, follow, subscribe on their stuff so you can keep up with the Wild Stallions motorcycle build this year. Some of the builds already that I've seen are pretty exciting, a lot beside mine, which after I get through a few of this stuff, maybe I'll give a little bit of an update where we're at on that and what's going on there. So the next show coming up is over on the West Coast. You got the David Mann Chopper Fest in Ventura, California, the Ventura County Fairgrounds. That one is the 22nd annual. That's February 7th for the West Coast, guys. That's the OG of the West Coast motorcycle shows. They've also brought that to the Midwest. The Missouri area this year was the first year that they put that out there, and that was definitely a good show. So the other one that I found is going to be, I just found this one. This is a newer show that is new to me, but we'll throw it up here just a second. We're going to throw that one up here. It is right here. Getting used to this new setup. I lost it. There it is. It is the Ride or Die motorcycle show. It's a custom motorcycle show. It's on Valentine's Day 2026. It's from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's at the Journeyman Distillery at the American Factory, 258 South Campbell Street, Valsboro, Indiana. So anybody close to Valsboro, Indiana area, that's Valentine's Day. They have the Ride or Die custom bike show, a Valentine's event hosted by Jonas Motorcycles and Journeyman Distillery. Might be a good one to check out. Get over there, check that out if you're in the Indiana area. So, yes, Frogzilla's been over there, checked out the Wild Stallions live. It definitely comes on. It just about comes on right after the unaffiliated. It's a pretty good one to check out. So, the Queen of Hearts is still alive. You'll be seeing some footage more of that coming up soon. So I didn't give up on it. I just had something else come up, and I've got to get out there and start finishing that up. But also coming up for motorcycle shows, we have part of the Mama Tried weekend is Flat Out Friday. Flat Out Friday is part of Mama Tried, and it is February 21st. That's last year's. So it is February 20th would be Flat Out Friday this year. So get out there if you're in the Milwaukee area and want to check out some motorcycle racing or some wild times. It's part of the Mama Tried show is Flat Out Friday. Tickets were on sale February 20th. It's at the Pfizer Forum. Indoor flat track racing in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, February 20th, 2026. I'll put all the stuff in the description later so everybody can get over there and check that out. Thanks for putting that link out there, Frog. I definitely appreciate that. So, Milwaukee's about 350 miles away from Brown Chicken. If you got time to do something and check it out, it's a weekend thing. If you go down there on Friday, check out Flat Out Friday, and then you have Mama Tried. Mama Tried tickets for 2026 are live. Mama Tried Motorcycle Show February 21st, 22nd, 2026. It's at the Eagles Ballroom in Milwaukee. So after Flat Out Friday, you can wake up and go check out some motorcycles at the Eagles Ballroom in Milwaukee. So the next one is going to be the 16th annual Witches Tit Motorcycle Run. That Witches Tit Motorcycle Run is at the Top Fuel Saloon, and not sure where it was at. I looked it up earlier and I found it, but now it's in Braidwood, Illinois, and nothing like the Witches Tit Motorcycle Run. That will be out there. It'll be nice and cold. February 22nd, 2026. That's another one to get out there and check out. Brown Chicken is up there in Wisconsin. He must be a little bit northern Wisconsin because Milwaukee's south. So, yes, the Witches Tit and a Brass Bra. Get out there and Witches Tit Motorcycle Run and check that out. I just thought that would be one that was worth definitely everybody checking out. So, and then at the end of the month, we got the Billy Lane's Motorcycle Run at Smyrna Beach, Florida. By the end of the month, when Daytona Bike Week comes in down there, it starts to warm up. "15 minutes into this thing, and I am still figuring things out. A little bit of time off didn't make things much easier for myself. I'll try to make it a little bit better and get things going and make sure I can try to do this better. Make it a little easier, quicker to move through. Everybody else is up late. Good to see you. Brown Chicken. Probably about 10:28. I'm over there for him. So just kind of hanging out, seeing what's going on. It's been a while since I did this, working on finding my way around the StreamYard. Set up the new office thanks to my wife. She did a little bit of work making one of the bedrooms into a little office I can do some stuff in, so I don't have to sit out and freeze my toes off outside in the shed trying to do these lives. I'm going to start bringing in some friends and stuff and see how things are going. And go from there. Other than feeling cold, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm getting through everything, getting things going, working through these different things, and it seems to be working out. Better being inside here in the house doing this than being out and that frigid cold temperatures. Shop heater stays pretty warm. I get up to about 60 degrees, but the old feet seem to get a little cold sitting out there. Unless if you're not moving, you're going to get cold. So smoke shopping. Yeah, here's 350 miles south of Milwaukee. That's definitely going to be one to check out. XAN, or are you going to head up to Cycle Showcase next weekend? Or I guess it's this coming weekend now that we're halfway through this weekend. Smoke shop, is it nice and cool down there in Florida for you? I think Sick must have fallen asleep. I seen he was in here earlier. But yeah, the wife did a good job of cleaning up the office area, making me a little domain area of my own. She's got her office set up next door, which is pretty nice and clean, but she didn't want to have me decorating her office up and using that, so she made a little bit of a close area here. 28 degrees. There we go. I kind of wish it was 28 degrees. You know, I miss those times of it being a little bit warmer. Supposed to get down to 23. What's the weather down there by you, Xan? You have nice warm southern weather down there? They've pretty much chilled everybody out all the way out. So, yeah, I think it's more of a fact to make sure that I'm not taking over any other space and hanging up all my stuff in different places throughout the house and decorating it. So, 18 degrees. There you go. So, smoke shop still southern. Got the southern warm weather down there, warmer than all of us. Yeah, wake up and feel some cold. Yeah. I mean, you walk out here and you feel some bitter cold and wake up nice and freezing cold. Toes feel like they're going to break off. Your face gets cold. Smoke shop's got a nice beard. He understands the beard and the cold weather. How it's nice though. Nice to walk in a warm house too. Yes, it is. Figured being on later that we might get into some trolls, but StreamYard seems to do a pretty good job of keeping those out. So spring is near. Spring is near, and a lot nearer than it was last month. 2 is the low tonight. 2 degrees is the low tonight. I haven't checked the weather here for tonight. I know the wife washed her truck earlier. It was 15 degrees. Finally got warm enough to wash the trucks off and things like that. Right now it is a -3. -3 degrees. I wonder what real feel is on that. Because it was windy earlier. It's -3 with a real feel of -3. So April is spring. Spring is close. Everybody else in there seems to be suffering from PMS, Park Motorcycle Syndrome also. It's colder than a well digger's ass here. Yeah, DDK. It's cold in Tennessee, I'm sure. -3 here. That's why we're inside the new studio work area and checking things out. So right now the build for the Wild Stallions is kind of on a pause. Waiting on some metal material to come in, and also I'm trying to figure out the exact shape of the frame I want to go with. So I've I've got something in mind. I got to wait for the steel to get here. I'll bend the backbone on it and see. I might change up. I might not go up like I was thinking about doing. I might do something a little different. But I got to get I got to get some metal here, some tubing, bend the backbone, and then figure out what I want to do for the up tubes and things like that. One thing I'm gonna run is a little bit smaller backbone tube on it. I'm gonna run an 1.5-inch tube, like the old digger style motorcycles had on them, and I may just try to stretch it out. The diggers didn't have a bunch of up to them, so I don't want to copy an exact digger frame, but I like that low, sleek design. And the Wild Stallions motorcycle build is a vintage motorcycle build, so I want to stick with something vintage on it and get something going there with that and see how that can get going and working out. So once we get going with that and get that on there and see how that goes. So hey, a groundhog comes out Tuesday. Somebody gotta shoot that thing. Just saying. That thing ain't never right. I always forget about that Groundhog Day myth and theory. XANs, you keep your other bike too? Are you going to be a 2-bike garage now? I don't think I've ever. It's just like one of them old wise tales. Who wants to have animals tell the weather? I mean, we could have brown chicken tell us what the weather's going to be like. I can tell you that our weather up here is cold as balls, and it sucks. And it's not getting any warmer. So, motorcycle season is unenjoyable. It's so cold up here. I don't even think snowmobilers are enjoying it. I got some buddies with ice bikes and everything, and it's just too cold to get out there. We got ice, but it's brutal cold. You didn't want to jump into one of the 2026 Harley Davidson redesigned trikes. I mean, their price is a little steep, but they're about the same price as they were 4 years ago. So they haven't gone up, and they got a lot more. Looks like they got a lot more features on them. Yeah, 30. That's a heat wave. 30 degrees is going to be a heat wave next week, towards later in the week. We'll see if it actually happens or not. Good to see you, American Uncensored. Thanks for stopping in for the late night with Salty Badger, doing a test of the broadcasting system. It's a test of the broadcast system. If this had been an actual emergency, run for your life and don't listen to me. All right, got a record high of 7 people in here. Late night. Everybody's staying up late, seeing what's going on. So, definitely been a long winter for everybody. Nice to see that it's January 31st. We're getting ready to go into February soon, and that's when it's going to warm up. February is a good time for things to start to warm up, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be true. I think it's going to be March possibly April by the time the snow melts up here and they get these piles of snow. Some of these piles are piled up pretty high. In fact, I seen on the news up here they had a car that was buried in a snow pile, and the meteorologists, those guys that get paid to be wrong, they're at 50% of the time they're wrong and they still get paid. But they were saying mid-March by the time that car became uncovered by snow. So if that's going to happen mid-March, how long for these snow piles from parking lots, things like that, to get on buried? 28 days in February, so that's a short month of bringing spring to us closer. So that's a good thing. February is always a colder month, so we're going to see how that's going to work out. Everybody thinks spring, pound chicken's being positive for us to think spring, but get over to some kind of motorcycle show. Mama tried. Any of those that are in the areas, St. Louis is going to be a cycle showcase on the West Coast. For the West Coast people, you got Chopper Fest in Ventura, California. If you're thinking motorcycles, you do motorcycle things, spring's got to come eventually. So if you're down south, you got Daytona Bike Week coming in. Maybe Smyrna Raceway can have some flat track ice racing down there because they said they got some colder weather down there in Florida. So maybe we'll have to trade in the old vintage flat track for some vintage ice racing. That's going to be a little bit of a time for you. But you'll be all right. July will come be here before you know it. You'll be all done with that. Minneapolis is an hour and a half from you than Milwaukee. The Minneapolis is coming up. We have the Donnie Smith Show. Been to the Donnie Smith Show. That's a good one over there in Minneapolis. Hopefully they can figure things out over there and those two don't collide. I'd hate to see the Donnie Smith Show be targeted a little bit by the events in Minneapolis going on. Hopefully they can just figure things out and we can all just get along. And we don't have to worry about that going on over there. I mean, they thought they'd freeze out, but I think they're in for the long haul. But as all of us know, that in the wintertime, just the problem with it being cold and like it is this winter, that ice just don't go away. So Mother Nature's come in and said, you guys want ice to go away? Hold my beer. I'm going to freeze everybody. $1981 GL 500 with title for $500. That's kind of a steal. And them GL 500s, they have some good uses. They're nice. They're a good bike to make a chopper out of, actually. It's rough but complete looking. And that's what we're talking about. That's what we're here for. We're all here for the motorcycle anonymous meeting. So we got Smoke looking at a 1981 GL 500. So what we got to do here is we all need to tell him how good of a choice this is and make a good motorcycle decision, because all motorcycles need homes. So if you can give a motorcycle a good home, and it's one of the first bikes you ever rode, it's even a better reason to bring it home to yourself, make it nice again, restore it, and bring those memories back. So everybody give Smoke a little bit of support. He needs a little convincing. This is the way this works. We all talk him into another project, because you can't have enough motorcycles. There's not too many motorcycles, and there's never too many projects. So it's definitely a good project overload. Never a project overload. It's always good to have a backup project. That way, because if you're working on something and you get stuck, you got something else. So $500 for a project, Smoke. I think the good decision would be to make sure and buy the motorcycle. So, spend that $500 on coffee cup Smokes. So, do you save the $500 or do you buy a motorcycle? You buy the motorcycle because how much more fun can two wheels bring you? I mean, besides having to, you can restore it, then you can ride it. You don't want to sell it. You just want to restore it and then put it up for storage or ride it once in a while. And when you're done with it, you can buy another motorcycle. So if you take that $500 and you can finish it, the goal is to finish it and have another project. So if you've got other projects, always add to the project so you have the next one lined up. So that way, it's $500 for a motorcycle. I mean, that's got a title, probably got tires on it, complete, and it'll give you something that it's vintage. It's good to have. It's good to have a spare motorcycle or 7. So everybody, welcome Smoke to the meeting. Smoke is also a motorcycle addict. He's here for our support to make bad decisions on motorcycle purchases. But I think the GL 500 is a good decision. More bikes, the better. That's exactly here. That's why we're all here. We're all gathered here today to pray for more bikes. More bikes, the better. We already have XAN, going to be a 2-bike household. He's thinking about getting rid of the V-Star, but he should keep the V-Star because it's good to have a backup. Oh, Smoke, here's the deal. Go into it like this. Offer him $500 for the Goldwing, and then you can have Goldwing and a GL 500 for $1,000. You got 2 motorcycles, 2 projects. Never mind, no title. Bad deal. Offer them $400 since they don't have a title, and then apply for a lost title because it's a classic vehicle. So no title, $400 if they. I do tend to steer away from motorcycles with no title, so it depends on the state and regulations on how easy it is to get a title. But I have projects, I have motors, I have half motorcycles. I get titles for the engines, the powertrains. I always try to get the title to match the powertrain. It just makes the paperwork side of it easier. In fact, the build for the Wild Stallions that I'm doing, I've decided to keep the Harley Davidson title with it and keep the numbers that's kept the neck so that I can keep going. Up late and strolling the interwebs, that's a good thing to do. Facebook Marketplace has a lot of good motorcycles on it. You can always find something. Nice white walls. I've become a fan of the white walls. Queen of Hearts has got white walls on it. I thought they looked sharp. I definitely think white walls are a good motorcycle look for that vintage look. What year is your Sporty? Again, Brown Chicken? Is that a solid mount or is that a rubber mount Sportster? Frogzilla was going to do some painting on his motorcycles last I heard. Been out of this for a little bit. So did you get the paint jobs done on the motorcycle you were doing? So Smoke, when you're to make better decisions, just make sure and drink a little bit while you're thinking about whether it's a good decision, and see if that decision is You can make better decisions late at night after several drinks. You'll make the right decision on which motorcycle to buy. It's a 2000 XL 2000 or XL 1200. Geez, 2000 XL 1200. There we go. So you put some white walls on it. You could always do like just a little gas tank lift on that Sportster. Opens up that front area, makes them look pretty sharp. Not real hard thing to do. I got several different kits out there that you can just buy to do that. See, that's the problem. Smoke's not drinking and he's trying to shop for motorcycles. Go ahead and message him. I mean, even not drink, you're sober. You can have a better discussion. Make good. Then, while you think about the purchase, take a couple drinks. Yeah, the Y glides is definitely not. I've noticed that too. There hasn't been a lot of them for sale front ends. I was looking for a Y glide front end myself for a little while, and just hadn't seen something. But that is a sharp look on there. A wide glide at the front, wide glide on it with a tank lift would look sharp. That would definitely get it. So you can get a bonded title. So the gold, you pick up the gold wing, pick up the GL 800 or GL, you'll be good to go. Yeah. Did you get your deer back yet from the taxidermy? Or is that probably a year wait for that? I know our taxidermy places up here are pretty backed up. Wait times about a year on taxidermy. My son-in-law's got one up there getting ready to be done. So make sure and get over there and check out Smoke Shop's channel. Make sure and let him send him a message, hit him like, subscribe, let him know to buy the motorcycle. That's no fun, but better be home than being behind that kind of bars. I mean, life behind bars is fun, just not those kind of bars. Of course, we all know you got Lolly there for the warden. She was going to have it checked for Hardwire. Welcome in, Hardwire One Percenter. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in, checking the show out on the late night with Salty Badger. What we're doing tonight is trying to talk Smoke into messaging them about a couple of motorcycles that he found while hanging out shopping on the Salty Badger show. So, but Frog's always up late too. He's a up late kind of guy, but that's a good way to be about it. So, but definitely on my build. So I've decided I'm gonna definitely go the kind of vintage look on this, and a lot of the stuff I'm gonna try to do this, and I'm gonna keep a log of how much I spend, and I'm not gonna try to spend a lot. I'm gonna make a lot more stuff in house than outside. There's a few things I can't do, but I'm gonna figure out the things I can't do, and then between Red Queen, the Ace of Spades build, a couple other projects that I bought. I've got quite a few parts, and I'm going to work through those and try to do the old school chopper, use this, use that kind of thing to try to make it a nice vintage chopper, but still get it to look good in the way I want it to. So, oh, Rona can't sleep. That's no fun. Yeah. Everything's coming back around. Everybody's getting sick again. So, Locking you in the basement. That's right. I remember that now. Had to get proof of life and everything like that because we hadn't heard from you. The wife's out organizing, doing things, and she cleaned this whole room out for me out of organization. Her organization skills and her decorating skills were much better than mine. It's still not done. It's kind of a work in progress, but she got me a new chair, nice and comfy chair. So I thought I'd jump on here and see if I had it in me to make this streaming thing still work. So it's late night, so it's kind of hard to make it all work out and things like that. But yeah, definitely hope it don't kill you and hope you get feeling better. I don't think it lasts as long as it used to. So yes, sir. I'm working my best to continue to try to get things better and moving better along. I'm not sure what the motorcycle shows are gonna happen for us here coming up. Gonna see what we got going, but I think I'll probably wrap this up at the top of the hour. Even though I got a 14-minute late start because I forgot to hit that live. Funny how live don't work very good. I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, wait, why are they saying I'm sleeping? I look up and it says hit go live. So apparently I have to hit go live twice in order to go live on the StreamYard now. So thinking maybe next week we'll get some shop time going. Run another premiere. If you haven't checked out my videos on the build going, I've been running a premiere. Saturday nights I've been dropping a premiere on those, slightly edited as best I can. Do some different camera angles on the build, get some stuff out there. Don't know if I'm gonna go to the point where this one gets covered at all, but yes, yeah, they recovered in a fire. They had a flood. Just recently had a flood. They can't win, but they recovered from the fire and they had a flood. So that's been some bad luck for them. Yes, thanks. You too, Smoke. Stay warm down there in Florida. Seems kind of funny having to tell the Floridians to stay warm, but I don't want to see anybody down there freeze. I mean, I can probably drive south and get, I don't know how far south it's cold down there, but I wonder if there's still people surfing in this cold weather in there, because I know when I was out in California and got a little cool, beaches pretty much became like a ghost town. There was nobody out there. Up here, we got frozen waves, everything like that, and people still go out towards the beach. Yes, everybody have a good night. Try to stay warm. I'm not sure when I'll do the next live. I'm gonna work at it a little bit and see. I'll try to schedule some. I need to get my watch hours up. Watch hours have been dropping down pretty hard. Hit that goal, get that up there so we can take that next step. All right, everybody's getting ready to say the good nights. Rubber down, faith up from XAN. I forgot all about showing the hardwire saying have a great night and God bless. Forgot all about the fact that you can show the smoke shop. So go over there, check out each other's channels, do the like, share thing. Don't forget about Wild Stallions Motorcycle Build, their page. Make sure and try to check out their Wednesday night lives. I'm going to guess that this Wednesday night they're probably going to give a little bit of the heads up of what they seen at the Garage Breed Show. Give you some highlights of that. So if you don't have anything to do Wednesday night, check that out. They've been running those at 7 p.m. Eastern. So get over there, hit that, and we're about at that top of the hour. I'm going to hit that button. Everybody, for me over here, it's February, so make sure on your way out, hit that like button. Thanks for stopping in.